thank you all for coming, except for Carrie Cagnasola, because she doesn't like to go to weddings. But Aaron always wanted to get married in basically this location. I mean, it's just, I mean, look around. It's absolutely beautiful, don't you think? I mean, it's just crazy. We couldn't have ordered it any better. We're able to actually couple it with the Dickersons' favorite location, which is Hilton Head Island. And I had never been to Hilton Head before we met the Dickersons, and I love it too. I mean, what more could you ask from a place like this? So it's the icing on the cake, and it's just really well. And we're just rewarded with this beautiful location. The rain held off, well, a little bit, but at least it cooled down a little bit too. So I want to get to some thank yous. So again, thank you all for coming. Everybody had to come a long way. I mean, we've got people here from as far away as Germany most of the times, and then we've got the Harlans here, who I think had the shortest commute, which was about maybe 90 feet, which maybe is right over there. So give the Harlans some grief when you see them, okay? So another thank you I have is for Elizabeth and Steph, who have just knocked it out of the park with everything that they did. I mean, everything that you see here today is completely with them. We're gonna say that Dave and I had a lot to do with it, and we really did, as we were overruled with, I think, about 97% of the suggestions we have. Is that about right? Yeah, I think so, pretty close. So they absolutely nailed it, and don't thank me, don't thank Dave, thank Elizabeth and Steph. And it's also been amazing for us here because we look at having to plan a wedding with a bunch of other people, and I don't think we had a single disagreement. Did we have a single disagreement on anything? I mean, it's just amazing. So we really lucked out there. So page 2. So I also want to thank Pearl. Where's Pearl? Yeah. Pearl did a bunch of work on the design, and Chessie's mom, Linda, also did some work. Where's Linda? Linda did too. So again, place cards and everything was their work. And we also have to thank Emma. Where's Emma? Right. Emma did a great job with the ceremony, and again, without Emma, we would not be here today, would we? Would absolutely not. So again, great job for the happy couple there. Elizabeth has a saying that when Thomas married Chessie, that we kind of won the daughter-in-law lottery, and I'm going to co-opt that because getting to know Andrew as I have for the last, 18 months, 2 years, however long it's been, 5 years, whatever, how long. You know what? I skipped right over the pandemic. That doesn't count. It's like, that was just like, we were all unheld. But has it really been that long? Yeah, it's like, Andrew, what took you so long, man? What's going on here? I mean, come on. I think I won the son-in-law lottery too. So, and with meeting Brian's new girlfriend, Olivia, everybody's covered. So we got it all done. So it's wonderful. So, Andrew, I want to welcome you to the O'Farrell family. We can't wait to see what's going to happen next. We know it's going to be just incredible. And as we watch you guys, as you live your lives going forward, really looking forward to it. And, I'll just wrap it up with an OH. That's all we can do. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? Everybody having fun? Good, good. So the classic maid of honor intro is to introduce yourself in a fun way, but luckily I decided to be best friends with Erin, who's the type of person who talks so highly about the people she loves behind their back that I don't think I actually need to make too formal of an introduction. But for those of you who don't know, I'm Izzy and I'm Erin's maid of honor. So I'd like to kick this off by taking everyone back to the Super Bowl of 2006, ages ago, which is the very night Erin and I met. And the Cagnasolas were hosting that night, and all of us families were together paying way more attention to the commercials than the game, but one thing became very clear that night. Carrie Caggs may have had only sons then, but she is damn good at forming sisterhoods. So after that night, Erin and I hung out on and off leading up to the summer of freshman year, and that's when I got the call that changed everything. And you're probably asking, what in God's name could this call be, right? And you guessed it. It was her asking if I wanted to go to St. Louis with her and her mom to see the Jonas Brothers. Which I think the only faster yes on this planet was when Andrew asked Aaron to marry him. So from that weekend forward, Aaron and I became pretty much inseparable. Over the years, we've experienced it all together, from the highs and lows of high school to college to experiencing the world together for the first time as adults, to even living together, which resulted in forcing Sean to watch Pitch Perfect on repeat over and over and over again. Which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure even he has perfected the Cup song at this point. But that all led to even traveling the world together, visiting each other, even when we lived on opposite sides of the globe. That's the great thing about Erin, is I don't think there's a single person on this planet that holds her loved ones as closely as she does. Which brings me to 2019, when Erin and I traveled to San Antonio to, you guessed it, see the Jonas Brothers again. While we were there, she was talking about this new guy. By the name of Larry, of all names, of course. But it made her light up in a way that I had never seen before. She was giddy, she was excited, but most of all, she was so happy. The next couple months go by, and I'm hearing more and more about this Larry character, until one day I get the call from Erin, another call, and she tells me, Izzy, this guy has the Thomas O'Farrell stamp of approval. So clearly I knew it was going to be the real frickin' deal. So when I finally got a chance to meet him, it all became very clear why everyone has spoken so highly about him. He's kind, he's so generous, and he might be the most soft-spoken life of the party I've ever met. He truly embodied everything I would want in my best friend and the guy she was falling in love with. So as the years have gone by, I've gotten a front row seat to watching the two of the best people I know living out something people write stories about. Not only is it so prevalent how much love the two of you share, but the mutual respect, understanding, and trust between the two of you is something to be so proud of. You have experienced so much together, including creating a home, going through career changes, and becoming the best dog parents to Mr. Opatron that have ever existed. I'm so fortunate to have such a long lifetime of memories with Erin, but what I'm truly looking forward to is the future with both of you, making more memories together as chosen family. So with all of that being said, I would like to give a huge shout out to the O'Farrells, the Dickersons, and the Jonas Brothers for making all of this possible. Cheers.
First of all, I think I need to give a shout out to Carrie Kaggs in my speech because everyone else has given one. So Carrie, love that you're here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Robbie Ballinger. You might hear me called Todd this weekend, just like Andrew's called Larry. You can thank Dave Dickerson for all that. But I am married to his beautiful, beautiful sister, Elizabeth. So I've been Andrew's brother-in-law for a little over 5 years now. I would like to thank first Sean and Liz for a beautiful evening tonight. Dave and Steph last night. It was wonderful. This entire weekend, as everyone, as I'm sure can agree with me, has been just absolutely magical. As I mentioned, I've been Andrew's brother-in-law for 5 years, but I've had the pleasure of knowing Andrew for a little over 12 years now, back when little Larry was a senior in high school. And if you knew those Oakwood boys back when they were seniors in high school, they were little troublemakers. But before we were brother-in-laws, we were also fraternity brothers at Ohio State. I think most of the Cagnazola boys in here were Sigma Chi's as well, but we were Sigma Chi's at Ohio State. And we share a passion for Ohio State athletics and sports that began well before our first meeting. And as you'll probably see throughout this speech, sports play a very instrumental role in Larry's life. Andrew might not remember what he did yesterday or what Aaron told him earlier today, but he can recite the entire 2002 Ohio State football schedule with scores. Andrew, Ohio State, Washington State that year, what was it? Yeah, that's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. And note, he was only 8 years old during that season. He can also probably tell you exactly where Ohio State finished in the recruiting rankings in 2019. So it rolls pretty thick through his blood. The term brother-in-law is a term that can carry a lot of different connotations for different people and different meanings. However, with Andrew, I was lucky enough to gain a real brother. And I'm grateful for our relationship every day. It is not often when someone in your life can come into your life and make a profound difference. but that is exactly what Andrew's done to me. Although not all of it good, I am a fan of Tottenham Hotspur, and it has been continued disappointment since 2014. All right, Max. Set this down real quick. I knew Andrew and I were going to be very close from early on. As an example, the first time I went on vacation with the Dickersons, when Andrew heard I was going, his first reaction was, "Good, I always wanted to bring a friend on vacation." Note, I was dating his sister for only about a year at that time. But we've had the pleasure of traveling all across the world, from England, France, Italy, Hilton Head multiple times. And with each trip, our friendship becomes stronger and stronger. And Aaron, as you know, with Andrew, you're going to find a person who is loyal, dedicated, passionate, someone you can rely upon, and someone that's going to be a great partner to go through life with. Although he may be a little slow at times, he always seems to come through. When Andrew first told me about Erin, I could tell that there was something special about her. The way he talked about her, his overall demeanor, they were nothing like I had seen before. As I learned a little more about her, in that she was from Indianapolis, my mind initially went to which college team her family had an allegiance. It was a short-lived concern, as I'm sure you can imagine, because it was either going to be Purdue or Indiana, neither one of which posed a threat to Ohio State. Everything Erin told us about Andrew was spot on. She was outgoing, thoughtful, and up for anything, and most importantly is caring. Most importantly is the way Aaron and Andrew interact with our girls, Emma and Charlotte. Well, Liz and I like to think that we are our girls' favorite people. We're often humbled when Aaron and Andrew are around. It quickly becomes, "E.E. and Andrew, come play with me." Or, "When is E.E. coming over?" The way Emma and Charlotte light up when Uncle Andrew and Aunt E.E. are around speaks volumes to how involved and important you guys are in our girls' lives. Second, we all know Erin is not necessarily a sports person, per se, but she continues to put up with Andrew. We were in London last year, and she gave up an entire day in London to go watch Tottenham lose another game. So it was Harry Kane's last game, so that was pretty important. But as someone who's not a sports fan, that's dedication. And finally, while I'm no expert on marriage myself, having been only married for almost 6 years now, I did want to provide some perspective, which I often revert to back myself. It's not unique by any means, but something which I think both of you can keep in mind on a day-to-day basis. As you've known and shown for the previous years, the two of you are a partnership. And the partnership has 100% to give every day. That 100% may not be 50-50 every day. It might be 60-40, 70-30. But what's important is that the other person is there to pick up your 30% or your 20% or your 10% when you can't give your 50%. And as long as you keep that in mind, I know you guys will have a very, very successful and happy marriage. And hopefully cousins. I'd like to ask everyone to raise a glass to Aaron and Andrew. I know I speak volumes for the Dickerson family when I'm excited to say how happy we are that Aaron is officially joining the family as Aunt E.E.